Well, hello. Welcome back to, let's put the graphics on. YouTube Creator News is back this week. And if last week had no news, this week is chockers full of interesting things to talk about. So we're going to get into it very quickly today. But before we do, we're going to jump into the chat and say hi to all those coming in. So if you're just coming in, welcome to the show. I hope you had a great week. And yeah, we've got some toys to play with. We've got some news to discuss. The top story of the week you can see in the title. Creative partnerships, what's it all about? Let's talk about that today. But let's first jump in and make sure everybody is coming in. We've got Davidson's All Natural Gym. Good morning. A YouTube member, of course. Kevin Hawthorne. As always, here from Lakeland, Florida. Good to see you. Larry Home Rapid Repair is in the house. Oh, I've got an extra tool I've got to turn on. That reminds me. Good Saturday to all the content creators. Hello and welcome, Larry. Rebel Candace is here as well. Good to see you as well here. Karen Cole from the UK saying hello, everyone. Hello, Doug. Shark Scrap is also in the house. Good to see Ernie here doing his thing, making it at the top of the show this week, which is always great to see. And let's turn up that background music. Oh, she's pumping today. She's pumping. Let's just find a spot for it there. Livestream Consultants is here as well. Good morning. Eileen Smith in the house saying hey. And that's it so far. People are probably going to keep rolling in right now. We're back, the usual show, vertical, horizontal, all that and more. I have breaking news, which is breaking news that happened in the last hour that I found out about this. So I'll share that. I might even share that before we get going on the main news topics because I don't have anything prepared for it, but I do have some tabs. And once I show those tabs, I can probably close them. I did take a picture too. Where's that picture? Although, no, I don't need the picture because you can still see it on the screen share. But we're going to breaking news. There's going to be a news story later on where we do a recap of the month of March from Neil Mohan and the YouTube creators team from the YouTube creators channel where they do their recap video for the month. One of those that is getting recapped is the fact that they rolled out the gifts on vertical live streams to Canada and South Korea in the last month. But I have breaking news that is now in more countries. Hasn't been announced anywhere. I discovered this myself in the last hour. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. Before we do, let's say good day to Monique, who's come in. Was here nice and early, left a message before I turned the old Social Stream Ninja on, so I couldn't capture it. But Monique is here. Always the first one in the chat before the stream. Which is awesome. So let's have a look. Let's go to the screen share right now. Actually, it'd be good if I was on the right tab. I was just going in like I do I like to update my members list most weeks. Some weeks I come in hot and don't have time, but I was jumping over to here, which is like the earn tab. And I was just sort of scanning across the top looking for the memberships tab. And right next to it, I saw supers and gifts. Now, that's new to me because historically for me, it just says supers. Because it's like your super thanks, your super stickers, your super chats. It says supers and gifts. So I thought, okay, I'm curious. Clicked on it. Turn on gifts on live streams. This is actually rolling out gifts. Is rolling out in more countries. Obviously, Australia is one of them if I've got that. So we're going to talk about that. In a second. I don't even care that the logo is on my head right now. The focus is on here. Now, the first thing it asks you to do is to verify yourself in AdSense, and I can't get past that loop at the moment. I've done the verification in the last hour, but I obviously got to wait for something to happen. But when I click get started, it gives me the gift. You have to go into AdSense, upload like your driver's license, some form of ID to prove that you're over 18 years old, because you have to be over 18 to use gifts, apparently, even though that's the same requirement for Super Chats, which I already have, so I must technically be over 18. But I went in, I did the verification at AdSense, but it's still asking me to do it even though I've already done it. So I'm sort of stuck at that loop. So I'm going to come back later. But let's have a look. I'm going to jump on over to this one here, the availability. It is now available to, in the following countries. Like we knew Canada and South Korea, and we know the United States. I think a couple of maybe Thailand and Taiwan already had it. I can't recall, but I think they did. But now Australia, Indonesia, Canada, Indonesia, New Zealand, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, and the US are now eligible for gifts as long as you fill all the other requirements, including being over 18. I certainly qualify being over 18. So that's the breaking news. More countries, which I know Australia and New Zealand are new. I don't know whether Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand were there before. I have a feeling that some or all of them were. They added Canada and South Korea earlier this month. So that's the brand new news that isn't in any of the other stories because this is breaking. This is breaking. So that's the excitement I had in the last hour before the stream. I'm quickly trying to record a tutorial, but I got stuck. I did the verification and I can't get any further for now. So we'll jump back. We'll revisit that at a later date and do a tutorial. But anyway, let's jump back to the chat real quick. Anything happening in here? Everybody's getting their coffees, getting ready, getting up, waking up. Draining with Jamie, welcome to the stream. Joining us from the over on the vertical. Good to see you. Hello from Canada. Hello, Canada. Canada's a great place. People are from all over the world already here in the chat today. So let's jump in. I think we need to jump into the news stories because I got a lot of news stories to talk about. And I thought my TV had turned off or something, but no, it was just fading black. All right. So let's, as always, jump in.
Stay tuned for Creator News.
All right. As we always like to do is start with the This Week at YouTube, or this week. Yeah, This Week at YouTube. That's what it is. Sometimes I say This Week with YouTube or This Week on YouTube. But the Creator Insider video for this week, I think it was on Wednesday this week. 3 topics which we're going to mention throughout the show. One of them is the main headline topic. Firstly, Brand Connect is now YouTube creator partnerships. We'll talk more about that in a second. Expanding affiliate program eligibility. YouTube affiliate shopping is expanding. The requirement to get in is at the lowest it's going to get. And we'll talk about that. And there's a shopping podcast series to go along with the YouTube shopping program, affiliate program, all of the above, whatever you like to call it. So let's jump into that affiliate program first, shall we? And go and look at the details here. YouTube shopping affiliate expansion. The subscriber requirement for the YouTube shopping affiliate program has been lowered to 500 subscribers for eligible creators in the YouTube partner program. So that's anybody who has the fan funding is 500 and over. If you're 500 over in the partner program, as long as you've got the fan funding level, you can now use the YouTube affiliate program. There are some other eligibility requirements which we'll discuss. Eligible creators can now earn commissions by tagging products from brands in shorts, VODs, and live content. To qualify, channels must be in YouTube partner program based in an eligible country. That's an important one. For example, Australia doesn't have it yet. So even though I'm in the YouTube partner program, I can't go with that. There's places like Japan who have it now. We know in the last month, Japan was the most recent addition to that. Channels must be in the YPP, eligible country, which we've already said, and not be designated as made for kids or a music artist channel. So if you're a music artist channel, you know who you are. You're those channels that have the little musical note next to the channel name. That's called an official artist channel or OAC. They have weird different things going on with them. I can't go into it because it's something I haven't really looked into, but they have different requirements for a lot of different things. So you can check your eligibility and enroll by the Earn tab in YouTube Studio, the place where we're looking at the jewels and the gifts and whatnot. Which reminds me, I need to close those tabs. So yeah, the countries, you can go and look at that. It'll tell you if you're eligible or not. If you know that your country already has it, but you just maybe didn't have that. I believe at one point it was 20,000. I think it had dropped recently. People are seeing it dropping, but now it's 500 subscribers. That's as low as it's going to get because you have to, obviously, to get paid out, you need to be in the partner program, have an AdSense account. So they've dropped it to the minimum level. It's the same as memberships, the same as super chats, the same as super stickers, gifts if you're in eligible countries. Obviously, not every country has it available just yet, but it will be coming soon. All right, just a musical interlude while we change pages. Here's an interesting card that they put out this week that go along with the shopping affiliate program expansion. You can unlock your earning potential. How creators are already maximizing their YouTube income with YouTube shopping. Now, obviously, this is overall YouTube shopping. This is the affiliate program where you can refer people to buy stuff at Walmart and different places, depending on what country you're in, of course. But it also includes maybe if you've got a connected Shopify or some other print-on-demand merch or different things like that. So there's various components to YouTube shopping. But Marnie Goldberg increased her revenue by 15 times by using YouTube shopping. Seongup KBD, I wonder if he's like the Asian MKBHD, I'm not sure. I don't know what sort of content he makes. 40 times their revenue using YouTube shopping. That's interesting. Don't know what they're leveraging or what their topics are, but that would be interesting. Videos with timestamp product tags and description links have 43% more clicks than products that just have description links alone. So if currently you're just doing affiliates through description links only because it may be Amazon or different things, having the products popping up and being clickable in different places on YouTube means you're getting way more clicks because people are more accustomed to click on those than to go looking for a link in the description. Once you're eligible, you can enable YouTube shopping and tag products directly in your videos. Even live streams like today, I've got merch tagged in these live streams. Feature products you actually use and love, and then you'll start earning. So this is a little information page that they put out this week on the socials. There were some other ones, but this is the one that had some stats on it. Now, to go along with that, this week they're launching a new podcast called Workshop. The first edition of this podcast is on the Creator Insider channel, so you can go on YouTube and look at this now. The first episode with Lauren, who is the head of content and community for YouTube shopping, is interviewing Dr. Shireen Idris. And now the whole idea of the series is to cover everything from the basics and getting started to organic content strategies. So all different aspects of YouTube shopping, not just affiliates, but also your own product, merch, going through Shopify, all the above. Anything to do with YouTube shopping is going to be covered in episodes of this new podcast. So, but it is residing on the Creator Insider channel if you want to go look for that over on the YouTubes. So big news in that sort of shopping / affiliate, YouTube affiliate program area this week on YouTube. That's pretty cool. So I want to see if there's any comments real quick. So what I'll do is I'll just come back to the main for a second. Focus camera. Draining with Jamie says, I've been working very hard on my channel with almost 4,000 watch hours. Excellent. Right now 3578, so hard but not giving up. No, you're well on the way there. Absolutely. 3.5 out of 4. Like you've done the hard work. You just got to keep pressing forward, increasing, keep uploading, keep getting more eyeballs on your content, and the hours go up. They don't go down if you keep working at it. So that's the good news. Once you get it, you're probably not going to fall back unless you stop, and so don't stop. Larry says, shop. Ollie says, this is such good news for creators. YouTube affiliate shopping is a new way to earn for so many. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, even though I know that I'm going to be limited to Australian stores, and I have limited Australian, I do have Australian viewers. We know that. But, if I could affiliate program and get commissions from the US, that'd be lovely for me. That's what I do with Amazon, you see. So all my Amazon money is mostly US. So Sharkscopy says, I'm getting clicks but no purchases yet. My audience can be that kind of type. Yeah, it can happen. You know, they sort of got to get used to the whole thing as well. Like get comfortable with your recommendation. Also get comfortable with how YouTube does it on their platform in terms of those things. But having it on and set up is, you have a better chance of earning than not having it turned on and not having it set up. That's for sure. Ali says, like, halfway through the first episode of the workshop podcast, need to finish up later today. So far, so good. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check that out yet because I know that came out. I think it came out yesterday from the top of my head. Well, YouTube's going all in on the shop to your drop mantra right now. Guard your credit card, guys. And say good day to Bingo Healer J8X. Coconuts have water in them. There's a real fact of the day. That is true. They have coconut water is in coconut water. Coconuts. So it's not just like regular water. It's coconut water. It's a special type of water. All right, let's get back to the news. And let's head on in. Let's talk about the headline topic of the day: YouTube creator partnerships, and then we might have a little bit of a discussion if we need to for this. Thank you for the hydration. Thank you. All right, YouTube creator partnerships. In brackets, we can see it's Brand Connect rebrand. We'll talk about that. YouTube has rebranded Brand Connect. So if you already had Brand Connect in your Earn tab, then you'll now see it says Creator Partnerships. Now this is in this hub. It's the same thing that you've had up until now with Brand Connect. You won't probably see too much difference for the time being on the creator side, apart from that name change. What they're doing is turning this into a hub. It's a single unified platform called YouTube Creator Partnerships. The platform integrates Gemini AI to help advertisers analyze billions of data points like organic brand mentions and subscriber growth to find the right creators for their campaigns. So all the new stuff is in the back end on the brand side. Brands are getting all this new access so that they can find creators that they want to connect with to do brand campaigns, which is basically brand deals for you as a creator. New features include a centralized dashboard. This is that whole AI-based thing, so they can do searches and analysis to find who is the best people to talk about my product. Maybe there's people out there who are already talking about it without getting paid because they're keen on it. They're the sort of people maybe they want to target, not just looking at view stats or clicks or other stats, but they're finding out all the information they need to know from YouTube. YouTube are providing the data that they can search and then find brands, creators, I should say, to connect to. Currently, this is available in 7 markets. It's the US, India, Indonesia, UK, Brazil, Australia, and Canada, with global expansion planned in the coming months. So they are opening this up to more countries very quickly later in this year. So you'll see that opening up to, you'll see continued announcements as they roll that out to more countries. Yeah, we got Brand Connect here in Australia in the last month or two, which is basically just sort of unified all like the media kit stuff and different things. There's not a lot of hands-on. We can set rates and things as well, but there's not a lot of other stuff that we can do right now. But what's the keen part is all happening on the brand side. The brands are getting those analysis tools to be able to find the people that they want to invite. Then they can reach out and connect with the creators directly. And the big thing about this whole thing, YouTube's providing this like connectivity between creators and brands, and they're not taking a cut of that. They're not taking a percentage of the deal. If the brands find you, they'll come and do the deal with you directly. They're not doing the deal with YouTube, they're doing the deal with you. That's the huge part of this YouTube creator partnerships. Very interesting indeed. I don't know if anybody has any questions about that, but I'm pretty keen to see more brands reaching out. So just be alert that if brands are reaching out, that you are keeping an eye on your emails, that you're doing the usual vetting, because obviously I don't know if they're connecting through YouTube directly at all, or how much of that's going to show up in the back end. I think in the US, they do have, like in the Brand Connect section, there's a lot more functionality than what we've got here right now in Australia. So I think that's rolling out to other places where there might be some connections in the back end. So then that's like your verification that they are legit and not somebody reach out by email claiming to be somebody that they're not, just to try and hack your channel. They're not going to hack your channel if they're coming through YouTube. So I think that's all good, good stuff there. Just going back to the whole shopping thing, I think Shopmania is scary. It can be, if the creators I love start trying to sell me crap. Yeah, you want, as creators, we still have the responsibility to promote stuff that we stand behind with our name, and not just shill for money, basically. Like if the product's reputable, then hopefully we're saying yes to the reputable stuff. So at least what we're recommending is of value to our viewers, and it's a good fit as well. So there's some due diligence that us as creators have to do in terms of not purely shilling, I guess. So yeah. Larry says, I was chatting with a creator recently who was surprised that the new creator partnerships doesn't allow creators to search. I remind him there's always been brand tools. Yeah. And I know that I believe that on the US Brand Connect, there is some sort of like interface for connection, but yeah, mostly it's brands that attract coming to you. Like you can still go and pitch brands independent of YouTube. You're not obligated to wait for a brand to contact you, so you can always go out and pitch brands yourself. If you want to learn how to do that or be effective in that, someone like Creator Wizard, Justin Moore. Yeah, Justin Moore. I'm like, so many Justins. Is probably a good person to follow for that. By making these tools to make it easier for brands to reach out to channels they want to work with will help even small channels. Absolutely. If there's small channels who are out there already maybe saying good things about that brand before the brand's even looking or aware of them, then that goes a long way. Apart from, like, it's not just the big stats and I'm a big channel, I get in front of a lot of eyeballs. Getting in front of the right eyeballs is more important than getting in front of a lot of eyeballs. Unless you're like a brand that's ubiquitous, like Coca-Cola or something. Everybody drinks soft drink. Well, most people drink soft drink. It's in some form at some time. So Coca-Cola. But you could be like very specific. It could be like, I've got a remote control to control my lighting system. Maybe that's framed well for creators because creators use lighting for their videos, or maybe for home theater systems, or you've got an RGB computer and it changes colors and you can press the button and do all the things. Maybe is the audience for that channel relevant to your product, and that's it's gonna be awesome for brands. Oh, something was said. Oh, I agree, Shark Scrapper. What did Shark Scrapper say? I still have trouble understanding how to use these partnerships. Yeah, if I had like the whole Brand Connect interface like the US does, then I could probably jump on and sort of go through those. So yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, Roberto's probably got a long list of videos he said he's going to be making, so he'll get to it eventually. He usually hits series and stuff. He'll do like a run of stuff. Products like Neo, Ulanzi, yeah, for creators, it's like, is it reputable? Like I use Neo, I use Ulanzi, a Rode, Fifine. I got a Fifine mic upstairs. I haven't used a Shure mic. I've probably used something from Sony. Haven't used anything from Obsbot yet, but I'm aware of them. Like I wouldn't promote Ozbot until they let me have a go at their camera and let's see how good it is, and let's talk about how good it is, or maybe pros and cons. The rumor is the new dashboard will show brands every possible mention when creators bring them up. Yeah, there was some. I did see a picture of it. I don't think I captured it though for the stream, unfortunately. But yeah, there was a sort of a picture of the brand side interface kicking around socials this week. It was in some of the official posts. All right, we need to move on. Okay, there's some of the sort of slightly quicker, but not ones that I've moved over to shortcuts because they have some points. There's an experiment right now, videos with previews. YouTube is testing a new homepage feature that displays 5 or 10 previews of short engaging moments from videos already recommended to the user. The goal, I haven't seen this in the wild, so take this all with a grain of salt. We don't know how this is all going to work out. Plus, it's an experiment. The goal is to help viewers quickly decide whether to watch, to skip, or to add the video to a watch later list, effectively combating misleading clickbait thumbnails. So it's basically giving you like sections of the video to preview, not just relying on the title and the thumbnail. The experiment is currently limited to a small percentage of users on Android. That's probably why I haven't seen it, because I don't currently have an Android phone that works. Some creators are concerned the feature may reduce deep engagement or revenue if viewers feel they've seen the best parts of the video in the preview. Until I see it, I'm going to reserve judgment on this experiment. If they roll that out, maybe do some experimentation on the iOS side, maybe get a chance to see what exactly it looks like. But for now, I don't know what it looks like, so I'm reserving judgment. Speaking of Android, there's AI-generated homepage summary. So what's this all about? A separate experiment on the Android app is replacing original video titles. I heard somebody talking about this earlier this week. In terms of Google doing it on web pages. I think it was a Verge article where the headline was changed by AI. So I think this is something similar, but with YouTube videos. So let's see what this is all about. This could be, some creators might be concerned. Users have reported that these summaries appear in collapsible boxes, forcing them to expand each snippet to understand the video's content. That sounds a bit weird to me. Early feedback from users is largely negative, as the summaries can be counterintuitive and take more time to browse than traditional titles. The current absence of original titles alongside these AI summaries is believed to be a bug rather than an intended permanent change. So this seems to be another maybe experiment that YouTube's doing. This is not something they've announced as being rolled out, but I would say this is definitely another experiment to be lumped in with the previous one we just talked about as something that's on Android. It's an experiment. It's not an official feature of YouTube yet. They're just testing things out, and all tests are subject to change or acceptance, or no, that's silly, let's cancel the whole thing. Not everything makes it to market, as they say. But just be aware that there's some stuff, some shenanigans going on. If you have an Android device right now, you might see that as well. All right, this one has sort of snuck through the cracks this week, but I discovered it probably in the last week or two. It's an advertiser-friendly guidelines policy update around shocking content. YouTube has updated its advertiser-friendly guidelines regarding shocking content in March 2026. Content featuring subjects that appear to be young, human or non-human, in distress is no longer eligible for ad revenue. So that would be like a young, So basically, like a child or like a young animal or something like that is in distress. I don't know what sort of level of distress, but I think because sometimes you see like a video and then there might be something going on, but there's like a kid in the background. They could be like upset because maybe there's an altercation between their parent and a police officer or another person, and then the child is getting upset because their mum or dad is getting in trouble. I don't know whether it's that sort of distress or some sort of more intense distress where something is happening to the child itself. God forbid. I would totally understand why they wouldn't monetize that content. This policy specifically targets imagery involving shock, disgust, body parts, or gore. Okay, that's a broad spectrum of things. But what I was talking about before could fall under the shock part for sure, or disgust. The update is part of a broader effort to ensure a safer environment for advertisers and protect vulnerable subjects. And I would wholly expect that if the content's still accepted on YouTube just as content because it's what it is, that would hopefully definitely be like over 18 to be like a restricted content already in terms of YouTube's policies. But I don't know whether that was monetizable before, because I didn't really look into sort of that part of the advertiser friendly guidelines in a while. But yeah, I do definitely agree that some distressing stuff maybe shouldn't be taken advantage of and be monetized. All right. Another one this week. So another update to the YouTube effect maker. This is like a shorts tool, but it's not on mobile. It's a desktop tool where you can actually create effects to go into the shorts tools. So let's see what they've expanded on this. This is something that I've tried to play with, and it was very sort of hard to use in my opinion. Effect Maker has expanded to all creators, so more access now, with access to advanced features in supported regions. So if you're in the right country and have advanced features, then you should be able to use Effect Maker now. New AI video capabilities allow creators to build complex video transformation effects using simple text prompts instead of manually visual scripting. I think up until now it's been visual scripting, and the visual scripting thing isn't intuitive at all in my opinion when I tried to play with it. And, I gave it a go because I'm like, is this something I could be making like tutorials on how to use? I'm like, I can't even figure out how to use it myself. So I'm not going to do a very good job teaching others. So I'd put a pass on that, but it was manual visual scripting. But maybe if there's some more easier text-based prompting, then maybe that would be a tool that would be now more favorable to learn. But we'll see. I don't know why I'd want to make effects for shorts, to be honest. Creators with editor permissions for a brand's channel can now publish custom effects directly on the behalf of the brand. So you can create effects for use just on your channel. So like you can make an effect that is just like for you, that you would use when you're making your shorts. YouTube has launched a dedicated Discord community and tutorial playlist to help creators master these new tools. Which is good because some of these tools are a little bit technical. Well, it seemed to me to be technical when I looked at it. So I might revisit that just to see if it's now easier to use. Just because, I'm inquisitive like that. All right. Okay. This week, YouTube released some guidance about analyzing about watch time and people's concerns about watch time on YouTube, and giving some guidance so they could clarify that drops in watch time are often due to shifts in audience interest, seasonality, or changes in content strategy like upload cadence. Creators are encouraged to use the test and compare thumbnail tool to see how new designs are being received by their audience. The audience by watch behavior card in Studio is highlighted as a key metric for identifying if regular viewers are losing interest. Like if you keep making the same type of content over and over, people get bored, people want to move on. So when you find something that works and you start doing that, but if you do that repeatedly over and over, then you could, if you do it too long, repetitively too long, then you will start to lose interest. So you always have to be doing content that works and then experimenting with new types of content to find more content that might work when you need to pivot or shift sideways or make a different type of video. YouTube emphasizes that one underperforming video will not necessarily impact the entire channel's performance. Yeah, long term, definitely not. Definitely not. If it's the video you just put out and that's driving, the most of your traffic because it's new, and it doesn't perform as well, then it's a short-term thing. It's not a long-term thing. You got more things coming your way. All right. I'm just going to jump back. We're going to jump back in the chat real quick. What do we got? Yes, yes, that's right. That was the I've forgotten which one that was now. That was was that the homepage summaries? I think it was the homepage summaries, yeah. Very, very, very possible, very possible. Good for YouTube. They don't enforce the guardrails. People seem to devolve into some nasty content. Yeah, unfortunately, if people think they can get away with it and it's not enforced, then it'll let more people cotton on and increases, which is why we're now dealing with some sort of slop content. That's why they're going hard. That's why we're seeing a lot of channels getting terminated because enforcement needs to happen. Brand Connect under those instances targeted to help brick and mortar stores rather than all sellers. Okay, interesting. Look, interesting conversations here. Everyone's having a conversation. Yeah, this is a conversation. Lovely, lovely. And it is now time for some of our really super quick stories. So let's hit them.
1, 2, live from the studio, the insights brand new. Dropping YouTube news that's strictly for the real. The feature updates and announcements, what's the deal? We got the inside scoop on the whole situation. Keep your finger on the pulse for this information. Get your daily dose, the essential guide. Right here on Shortcuts, where we let the truth ride. Yeah, Shortcuts. Word up, peace.
All right, let's hit the short, quick, snappy stories. Even though there's a few things on here, we'll hit them. A couple of days ago, there was a known issue, and it was published in YouTube Studio. People's uploads were stalling. Many creators experienced an issue with video uploads getting stuck at the checks phase. The problem primarily affects users on desktop version of Studio when the upload dialog became unresponsive. Now, YouTube was working on the fix, but as you can see now at the bottom, it is now being flagged to fix. It has been fixed. The temporary workaround at the time was affected users go and upload on mobile instead, or the main app or the Studio app, of course, because that was working fine. But that's been fixed, so that's good. So we can move on. And I click the button, it doesn't do anything. There's a current alert on YouTube Studio. There was a pop-up message that was sent out in error. Some people got this message, which has caused some concern, but it wasn't meant for them, so it went out to the wrong people. Some creators reported receiving a pop-up message in YouTube stating that they need to take action to keep access to their channel. Due to local law, you need to need to invite a parent to set up supervision in order to have a channel and do things like upload videos or comment. Now, these are adults getting this, so that's why it's like send out an error. And they were sent out between March 25, March 26. YouTube says they were sent out an error, so disregard them, just ignore it. It was sent out an error. You weren't meant to get that. So if you got that, relax. They're not trying to get your, information or anything. They don't think you're a child. It was just sent out to the wrong people. Sent out to the wrong people. Some people are reporting, this is from Dexerto, YouTube users are complaining about the endless waves of reach and capture puzzles that have hit the platform. I've not seen any. I've not had them. Users have been forced to solve puzzles before they can watch videos. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I don't know if that's true. I haven't had any issues with that. Maybe that's another Android thing that's happening for Android people. I don't know. So if you see that, that's interesting. There's no moral to the story. It's just, hey, people are reporting a lot of captures. All right, another one here. YouTube is testing some changes in the Android app. The Android app again. They're playing around with that Android app. YouTube has created the bottom card. Has changed the bottom card for menu and video quality selected to a floating menu. Is currently in a testing phase. I've got an example here. Let me jump over. You can see the current one on the left on the mobile app. It usually comes out of the bottom, But now in this experiment or this thing they're changing up, it's now sort of more floating around in the middle somewhere, rather than coming up from the bottom. So for example, the action tab from the video player is probably going to be up closer to the video player itself. There's more general menus that are also floating as well on Android, apparently. So another one that was sort of kicked around that's been seen, I haven't heard anyone else talk about this except for Jonah. He found on YouTube Studio you can now heart all comments with one tap. No official announcement as yet. Is this rolling out to everyone? I haven't seen it personally myself, but I'm going to keep an eye out for that one. So looking in the YouTube Studio app on mobile is, I think, where it was seen. So let me know. Send me reports if you see those. That's a close-up of the next thing we're talking about. No, this is a new thing, not the next thing. And this is posted on Twitter by Radu. The account switcher in the YouTube app is now, at least for him, is now right at the top there above the profile picture. It used to sort of sit down just below sort of the profile picture and the handle. It used to be there, and you used to be able to like switch between, if you have multiple YouTube channels, you can switch between them. But now they've moved that a little pill at the top. I haven't seen that in the wild yet myself either. So I'll be looking out for that one. Now, there was a monthly Creator Roundup recap, and it did cover some of the news stories for this week, but also goes back and covers other things that were announced earlier this month. So we're going to quickly recap these, thanks to YouTube, and Neil Mohan posted this as well. He's got a longer list, which we're going to look at for a minute, but from the Creator Roundup recap, there was voice replies, which we've talked about. I made a video on it. That was, I think, back late February, early March. Also, another thing that we sort of broke, I know Peggy talked about that, I talked about that, about being able to adjust who can comment on your videos, so you can make it for just subscribers and members only, or open out to everyone. And of course, you could have comments totally off if you want to. So the adding the subscriber and members option, which means that you can only comment if you're a subscriber of the channel or a member of the channel, and regular viewers can't comment. So there might be a reason why you'd have that. I personally aren't probably going to use that particular one. We've talked about that one previously. Ask Studio expansion. The AI-powered insight tool is rolling out to additional countries and languages. I don't have the list here right now with me, but they are rolling out to more countries. I think that there's more information probably coming on that real soon. And as we talked about at the top of the show, Gifts and Jewels, the monetization features has expanded to Canada and Korea, South Korea specifically, not North Korea, allowing viewers to send virtual gifts during vertical live streams. And as I pointed out at the start, it's actually rolling out now to Australia, New Zealand, and a few other countries as well, in addition to these countries and the US, who have had it from the get-go. Now, YouTube CEO Neil Mohan had a bigger list for this month. The ones we talked about just now was on the Creator Roundup video, but this is some other things that YouTube launched this month, including the increase the thumbnail sizes from 2 megabytes to 50 megabytes file size, uploading on desktop, of course. Expanded access to localized thumbnails, so multi-language thumbnails. That was earlier this month, late February. This week's expanded access to shopping affiliate program. Also expanded access to VO3 integration in Effect Maker, which is what we just talked about as well in this week's news. Unified Advertiser and Creator Suite, the YouTube Creator Partnerships, also this week's news. A new grid of shorts on search. I think we talked about a grid for search early this month. I remember that one vaguely. So many things. Gifts and Jewels on vertical live streams in South Korea. That's the flag there. There was Canada as well. Although Canada might have been actually late February or early March, I'm not sure. Gifts, Nano the Banana is now integrated into YouTube Create app. I haven't played with that yet. The updates in some of the generative stuff that you can do in the YouTube Create app. A friend of mine who does how-to content like vertical stuff and mobile apps and stuff and sort of tips and tricks. Mike McCainish, he's been doing videos on the YouTube Create app recently. Expanded likeness detection to government officials, journalists, and political candidates. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. And they're doing some partnerships with FIFA and FIFA World Cup, which, you know, most creators probably don't. That probably doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter. All right, let's get back here to the show. For some reason, the music stopped. Thought it was very quiet. We're going to jump back into the chat. If you've got a question for me, drop it in the chat with a Q in front of it, which you can do. You can ask about anything we've talked about today, any other hot burning question on your mind about YouTube or content creation. I'm going to jump into the chat and get caught up. See, there's all these conversations. Sounds like a bug or a test. Why would you want to heart all comments at once? Yeah, I guess it depends on how you go about addressing your comments. Sometimes you just want to, because sometimes there's comments that you maybe not want to like type like a response to, but you want to acknowledge them. And so sometimes people use hearts for that. I do that to a certain extent. I often reply anyway. But if you're just doing like just a quick acknowledgement, then maybe there's a group that you can like heart them all at once. Maybe it's just like a time saver thing. That would be my only sort of reasoning as to why that would happen. But yeah, we'll see if that's in the wild and see how that works. I believe it was a YouTube Studio app. Stanley Orchard's here, by the way. I saw you pop in and I was in the middle of the news and it scrolled. There it is. There it is. I found it. There he is. Good morning. All right, let's go back to the question. If a viewer finds your video via a search query using AI, does this reflect as a search traffic source in your analytics? So if you mean you're on like Gemini or ChatGPT, and doing the search there, like asking, hey, suggest some YouTube videos that talk about this, and it says, oh yeah, the good videos are these ones here. It's under external, and it will be like external, then like Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude, or it'll be like an external website basically. So it'd be similar to that. I don't think they've broken out like a unique traffic source for any type of AI, but they're just like external because they're outside YouTube. So right now, I think that's how I've seen it anyway, because I have seen like search results from external where you can see like Gemini and ChatGPT in particular, probably a few others as well. Any of the ones that people are using these days. I've not seen it on Android. Yeah, I haven't seen any. Well, a lot of that stuff was like Android testing, but sometimes if it's an experiment or a bug, then not everybody sort of runs into those things. So it's particularly if it's an experiment, because an experiment is like, well, they're not testing it with everybody, so therefore it's not rolled out. It's just some people might have it because they got lucky or unlucky, as the case may be. Okay. Doug, how does the likeness detection tool for government, political journalists, and political candidates generally work? Do they have to submit an image to YouTube for YouTube use? I'm making a video on likeness detection. I'm in the middle of it. I submitted my documentation through the process. So I sort of recorded how that process works, so you'll be able to see that. You have to wait up to 5 days for it to get approved. So somebody has to like eyeball that to make sure that it's like legit. And I waited I did it like midweek, and yesterday 24 hours ago from now, it was approved. So I need to go back in there and then record the next steps from that to finish off the video, and then I'm going to edit that and get that up. So hopefully the next video, I've got another video with a script, and then I was recording some stuff with the gifts and jewels sign up thing, but obviously I got stuck at the verification stage. Once it was verified, it didn't go any further because it's sending you out to AdSense. They're not probably talking very quickly to each other. They'll probably pass that information back to YouTube that I've verified my identity, basically. even though I've had an AdSense account for probably 6 or 7, 8 years. All right. I think the likeness detection tool is rolled out to everyone. It's gone through Google, done through Google, not YouTube. Yeah, like the interface where you sign up is in the YouTube side. But it is using some Google backend stuff to do verification. Like you have to do it on your phone. They send you out to, they give you like a QR code on the screen, and then you do that on your phone because you have to upload ID, and then you also have to do like a face scan so that they can do the actual detection. And so they do all that on the phone because the phones generally have like be able to take the facial telemetry, you know, the 3D of your face, not the 2D of your face, if you know what I mean. So what they do is, that's why they do it on the phone, because most modern smartphones have the depth perception like iPhones have. Like you can set up your Face ID. That's a 3D look at your face, your biometrics. It's not like I'm taking a picture of my face. It's it's seeing the depth and saying I'm a real person. I'm not looking at a picture. Yeah, phone has LiDAR. That's what I'm looking for. LiDAR. I couldn't remember what it was called. But it's like Face ID, and most Android phones have that now as well. So they do all that through the phone, and then once you're done, they send you back to desktop. But at that point, you have to sort of wait for the approval process. So my next thing is to go in and finish off that video by recording the steps that are after that, which is basically, there's probably not too much left on that, and then I need to edit. And that likeness detection tutorial will be up, and then we talk about generally the whole gist of what likeness detection is, what it does, and is it net positive for creators, or is it net negative for creators in terms of giving some of that identification. Like all I had to do was take a picture of the front and back of my driver's license, and then do the facial scan, which you have to do the facial scan for the likeness detection to work. So and they are actually using some of your content as well. So then you have to appear in your content in addition to the facial scan. So I submitted my likeness, and they responded with the oh, come on now. All right, another question. Is the likeness detection feature for everyone, or just those who I mentioned above? Well, content creators already had it first, but they've just expanded like the opportunity to it earlier this month to journalists, government officials, people who might be in the public eye, basically. Apart from like YouTubers, you might be both. So if you're a YouTuber and you're a journalist, you might have already done it as a creator. So that for those journalists and political figures and stuff, they probably have a different spot where they got to go to do that. I don't even know where that is, to be honest. But the process is the same in terms of making sure you are who you say you are, and then getting that facial scan. All right. It was interesting last week. We didn't do YouTube creator news, and we talked about sort of YouTube tools made by creators for creators, that sort of thing. We talked about one of Roberto's tools, some of Nick's tools. Nick's got a bunch. He's still churning them out, to be honest, which is really good. Yes, test them out. Wait for that gift to trigger, the mystery gift, because I hadn't tested it. Like I put a new one in, and it's interesting. Mike's here, business growth ready. I wonder, once you submitted your likeness, do you get adverts for plastic surgery anti-aging cream? Well, I'll let you know, because I submitted mine this week. Yes. Elise here, Anfield Road, Layout in the Loft. Hi, Doug, and all chat. So yeah, I'm testing even a couple of different ones. Like one I could probably mention is I'm testing a soundboard. It's on iOS, and I've got a Mac version now as well. It's in test flight at the moment, so I'm in the beta test. But basically what I can do now that there's a Mac version is if I have it on my phone, on my tablet, on my iPad, I should say, and I have that one on the phone, on the computer, I can use the phone as a remote. So it triggers the sound in the computer. So if you're live streaming, you can trigger it here like this. It can trigger that, but that application is running and it's just running through the sound, so it's going into Ecamm and out to you guys. I can hear it on my Rodecaster, but I'm triggering it on my phone remote, like wirelessly. I could have my phone plugged in to my Rodecaster and have it plugged that way. I did that a few weeks ago when I had my iPad plugged in when I was testing it, when it was just the iOS iPad app. So there's more things, and like I got it loaded up with I got it loaded up with all the usuals, the super chat stuff, and I can drop a few sound effects.
Houston, we have a problem.
I've got a few loaded up there. Even some of the jingly things that I've sort of loaded up as like promos and stuff, like the shortcut song. This is one with
check the mic.
That
1, 2, live from the studio.
I've got that one. I had a different version of that. It was like an 80s pop version.
Hey, YouTube creators, got some news for you. Wanna stay on top?
Very, very 80s sort of rock. I got variations on the Ask Renee tune as well that I've done a few weeks. No Ask Renee this week. I didn't get any Ask Renee type questions showing on my socials this week. So yeah, different things, and maybe just, some more laid back things.
Creator news.
I'll turn that off. It just sort of fades out at the end. I noticed, this is from Karen Cole, of course. I noticed on using polls on shorts, I can only see results by watching the video. So stopping in fear that looks like I'm trying to increase views. Okay, if you've done a poll, I noticed on using polls on shorts. So if it's your short and you've done a poll, you can actually see polls in the back end of Studio. Let me see if I can find this. Polls on shorts. Can you get polls on shorts? A lot of the polls and stuff show up. Let me do a screen share here. Loading that up. So if you go to the content tab and you go to posts, if you've got polls in posts, they show up here. Even if you've got like quizzes and videos. Like I think this quiz here is from one of my previous videos where I've done the quiz thing. It shows up in here as well, so you can see the results. What you can do is details. If you click on details, it'll give you like the results there, post results, post details. So if there's any type of poll or quiz and stuff like that, that's image. I haven't done any polls in a while. Now, if it's on like a live stream, I don't know if you can look those up. I don't think they show up here. But I know the ones in like the quizzes and videos show up in posts. You can come and look at the results here. If you do polls, then they should show up there too. I'm not familiar with doing polls on shorts. That's the only thing. That's what's throwing me that one. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's like I could have those in like a sound thing in Stream Deck and have it play, through your system sound. But this particular soundboard is very, very customizable, very intuitive. Has a lot of different options, like appearance-wise, to make them bigger and smaller, colors, text, images. You can set it up. You can upload, and the audio is on your device, so it uploads to the device. So if I have the audio right now, because I'm remoting, the audio is on the computer in the app, And all this is just giving me is an interface that triggers it. But I could have this plugged in as my primary audio and into my primary audio, and play, play different little things. YouTube Studio, there's several places a creator can watch their own video on YouTube. I think they are smart enough. Yeah. Like go on and watch it one extra time to like check your pinned comment or to check a poll or to check, check something. YouTube aren't going to ping you for that. Like if you did it repeatedly, then yeah, maybe. But one time, two times, you're not doing it over and over. Even if you're just doing it time to time, just to check something. Like sometimes you got to do these things, but you can check, as Larry says there, you can check a lot of stuff in YouTube Studio as well. Conversations going on there. Conversations going on. Oh, we've hit the it's half past the hour again. And I could do it over here today.
It's the last call.
It's the last call. So this is like towards the end of the show where we're going to open it up. One last chance to make a comment or ask a question before we wrap things up and send people on over to Nemen Live. Coming up in about 27 minutes from now. So yeah, let's see what's coming up this week. Quite simple. There's not a lot scheduled, so it's only Nemen Live today, 9 a.m. Eastern, after this show. And don't forget, Chantel's will be back on Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. I believe she'll be back on deck. She was back on deck on her Fiberific show this week. And I'll be back here with YouTube Creator News at the same time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern next week. And that's what's coming up later today or this weekend in terms of live streams. If something turns up last minute, it means that they didn't put up enough time for me to know about it to tell you about it. But you always keep an eyes open because, I know that sometimes the Opus Clip one comes on last minute with Roberto and Andrew. Here we go. Doug, don't forget to check your Twitter DMs when the stream is over. You missed my comment earlier. Oh, yes. Well, you know what? I'll jump in right now. Okay, then of course, there's TubeSpan. TubeSpan is midweek. Tuesday, noon Central. So that'd be like 1 p.m. Eastern, if my time zone math is correct. Actually, I do a lot of work with people in Central time. So, I probably should be more accustomed to that. Yeah, I don't know where Chantel is this weekend. I'll probably see her on Nemen Live. She's probably napping. I think that's what happened last week. Why she wasn't on my show. She was napping. But she was like last week. She had been on the different. Previous week she'd been on the US schedule. So she was like sleeping during the day and awake at night. So she was like finishing off last week. She was finishing that off and getting her body back to Australian time. This week she should be back on Australian time. So yeah, she might show up. I'm expecting that she'll show up on the old Nemen Live in the chat. There it is. Last call, y'all. All right, now I'm looking for. Oh, here it is. DM. Ah, yeah, no problem. I see it. And I don't even have that open like I'm on my screen. Okay. Yep, I see it. No problem. That's Mark. I know who that is. He's mostly harmless. He shows up in Nick's streams as well. That's probably why he's on my stream. Let's see. Just making sure that we're all set up. Oh, we need to make sure that we're all set up to redirect to Nick's at the end of the show. So let me do that real quick. Is there any more questions coming in? I'll look at the chat here while I'm here. I'll set up these redirects. There it is. That's the redirect on the horizontal. Only thing about doing vertical or horizontal, if you're gonna set up a redirect mid-show, you gotta do it on both. There it is. All right, both streams will now go to Nick's show. Once we're done here, you'll end up in Nick's pre-show chat as usual. The lovely redirect. All right, so yes, appreciate the message. What else we got? Are they working? Let's test. Let's do some tests at the end of the show while we're doing our final bits. There was something else I was going to test. I got distracted because I had an audio issue with my background music. I had to reboot the Roadcaster before the stream. There was something in the event flow. Oh, there's this. Yeah, I just wanted to test something, so I'm going to test it here in the chat. I'm going to drop it in. I'm just going to drop it in the Social Stream Ninja chat. I know that's going to work. Let's see if that works. Let's see. You can't redirect someone else's live until they have it scheduled. That's correct. That's correct. So, like, often before my show, Nick hasn't got his scheduled yet. So if he does, then I'll have it linked up before the show. But usually I have to go looking for it and link it up, like at some point during the show. So yeah. I don't know if that's right. Let's see if any of my other triggers are working. Maybe I need to just drop it in a real live chat instead of that live chat. Let's try. Just last couple of weeks, my social stream, my main sort of, the chats I bring up individually don't always trigger. And I had to restart Ecamm for that. But what I'm seeing here, but we had like the drink more water one came up earlier, but some of the other even I don't know, and I'm trying to figure out if it's a bug with Ecamm or if it's a bug with Social Stream Ninja. Actually, I don't think it is Social Stream Ninja, because when I open up the direct link to just in a browser, there's the flux capacitor fluxing. There's only flux, and I think it's just Scott for Great Scott. Let's just try those real quick. But there's multiple overlays. There's the GIF overlay that does these. There's the overlay that does the message on the bottom, and I highlight them. And there's another one that's called like an event flow. And so it gets triggered by some presets that I have set up in what's called the event flow editor. And sometimes I could type that is one of them. Sometimes it'll pick up on specific words in the chat that's just a general word. It's not one that's a specific trigger. Yeah, I don't think it's Ecamm though. Well, actually, yeah, no, I did say it was Ecamm, didn't I? Oh, there's the mystery one. The mystery one's working now. I missed it before when mystery was typed in. But yeah, general things like that. I try and test some of that stuff before I go live now. And yeah, my event flow, maybe my... You know what? I don't know why the event flow stuff isn't working. It's because I haven't set it up in my new dual stream. I only got the GIFs and the... Here am I wondering why that stuff's not showing up. And then the other one the other one was working last week because it was on a different profile. No, that's me. That's 100% on me. It's 100% on me. Nick Dimon in the stream, in the chat. There he is. He's got the flux capacitor fluxing. Oh, interesting. Hashtag user error. Yes, I'm not blaming Ecamm. By the way, Ecamm have a big announcement coming up. I think next week. I think it's next week. It's like early April. Oh, they're all flowing through now. They're all flowing through now. But yeah, I've taken the soundbar off. I'll have to it has to reconnect if I disconnect it. They're all coming up now. The blue badge is still ugly. Was confusing new users thinking they work for YouTube. Yeah. No, they haven't even acknowledged it, like Creator Insider or anything. They've never said, "Oh yeah, we changed the moderator badge." It's like yeah, but those of us that know, we know, we're vocal. Chantel's very vocal about the blob. 52 plus live. Welcome to the stream. We're just about to wrap things up, but welcome. Yeah, it was. The old wrench was way better. Can we get a hashtag for this? Not my wrench. I'll bring back my wrench. Bring back my wrench. Yeah, we could do that. I did send them several versions of feedback on that back in the day. Yeah. I think we're all partial to the wrench because how many years have we been using that wrench? Well, I don't mind if they have a different symbol for a managing moderator. But then it was interesting. Somebody said in the stream the other week that in some communities, the other moderators get upset because the managing moderator is acknowledged in some special way because they might have a different icon. I'm like, gee, I'm glad I'm not in that community. I'll tell you. But yeah, it's like, hey, a managing moderator has more responsibility, even if they have to do it on their mobile device. It's all good. Well, Niman Live's coming up in about 16 minutes, so I'm going to wrap things up, let you all go. Thank you for helping me test some of those things at the end there and your questions, and a lot of news to get through. We got through it all. I'm sure there's more. Hey, gifts and jewels in Australia, New Zealand, and some new countries haven't even been announced yet. I'll let you know more about that, and maybe even get a tutorial out if it gets working sometime the next day or so for me. I did verify my identification, so we'll see. Stanley Orchard, good to see you all. Check out Nick Niman live stream, absolutely. But let's hide that and let's say the thing that we always say, and I'll catch you later.